Hey everyone, I'm sure you guys have been hearing of this little game known as Genshin Impact that everyone is talking about now. Well, I've been playing the game for about a week now. I'm sure that was surprising, and I've experienced many things about it. Some of them are good, and some of them are bad. So this video is here to talk about that. Before that, if you guys don't know what Genshin Impact is, it is an open world action RPG game that was designed with the gacha system and made by the company Mihoyo. It is a game that you can play on almost every platform such as PC, PS4, and mobile. Imagine trying to run Genshin on your phone without it spontaneously combusting. Alright, here's how the video works. I'll keep it short and split it into two sections, the best part and the worst part. So, why is this game so goddamn addictive? The game feels like a breath of fresh air, as it's something that seems to be a baby between an ARPG and a gacha game. It's been a while since we got something that feels like it's a AAA game that isn't a AAA game. A few people have been waiting for the next big game that isn't something like Fall Guys or Among Us, which are very fast and simple games to play with people. Speaking of simple, the aesthetics. The graphics of this game is eye-catching and beautiful. It's not like your modern super realistic games like Call of Duty. Instead, it's very colorful and saturated. A trend I'm noticing in 2020 that most popular games have, even though some of them didn't even come out in 2020. In terms of anime games, it definitely looks like a step above the rest. The difference between low and high settings is barely noticeable, so if you need a smoother experience, go ahead and lower it if you have to. For anyone who just says it looks like Breath of the Wild, well, yeah, I can tell the game got a lot of inspiration from Breath of the Wild, but other than that, in terms of gameplay, feels a lot more like Nier Automata or Final Fantasy 15, which are very much action RPGs. The combat. The combat in this game is fun and engaging, but the most interesting part about it is the elemental and party system. The fact that it's not your typical rock paper scissors kind of interaction brings something new to the table. This allows for many different kinds of playstyles and changes up the characters in your roster depending on what element you need. I love having variety in RPG games. If everyone just used the same goddamn character and build, it gets pretty boring fast. The music. If you've played this game, you can't deny that the soundtracks in this game are fucking bomb. Just take the Lyra Battle theme, or the Valiant's boss theme for example. Holy shit, they are beautiful. Usually free games don't really have music that catches my attention, but this shit is giving me Nier vibes. The music gives you the appropriate feeling of the atmosphere, and that's why I find it pretty amazing. The characters. If you're here for the waifus and husbandos, holy shit, welcome, you're in the right area, my friend. The characters are categorized into element and weapon types where they all have their own unique animations and skills. All the characters in the game are all strong, IP Amber, and are enough to breeze through the game. It's just a matter of who does it better. The characters in the story are also not as one-dimensional as I thought initially. They are genuinely interesting characters. Did I mention they are also really hot? I won't talk too much about the story, but it's simple yet has interesting points where you are curious about certain things. The game spaces out the story between times to explore, which is pretty nice for those who just want to find out more about the world. Lastly, it's free to play. I don't know how much I have to stress about this, but having a free to play game feel like a $60-$70 game feels amazing, and it really helps spread the growth of the game. The characters provided are strong enough to handle endgame content. Many people complain about the gacha system, and I'll get on to that. But without the gacha system, the game probably wouldn't be free in the first place. How is it that a game that's free to play earned over $100 million in its first week? Whales, I hear your answer. Of course, people want to support the game because they love it. And without these people to support by doing the gacha, the free to play experience will most likely be different. It's their own money. It's a PvE game. You get free stuff. It's a win-win, right? Well, here's where I get to the bad parts of the game. As someone who plays both action RPGs and gacha games, I feel the game has nailed its action RPG aspect, but its gacha aspect is daunting even to me. So I can imagine how bad it is for people new to gacha. So these are the two main problems I find with the gacha. The game at this current moment gives way too less Primogems to account for its abysmal rate. Trying to save up for 10 roll is a nightmare for free-to-play players, but if you count doing all the daily commissions, you probably only get about 2 to 3 rolls a week. Even whaling is a struggle as it costs so much for a simple 10 roll. It's like 40 bucks for one. At the current moment, I can only recommend re-rolling or the monthly card in terms of value, but that obviously does not solve the problem. I'm sure everyone and their goddamn mothers have talked about the resin problem, and I could spend the whole day talking about it, but I'm not gonna do it here. This is definitely a pain in the ass, not being able to farm a specific thing for more than about 3 times in a single session is a big problem. All I'll say is that they should not remove the resin system. It needs a big rework or improvement for sure, but it should not be removed. I understand that many people come from MMOs and something like an energy system is just straight up a middle finger to grinders. The entire game is balanced according to the resin system, and removing it is just gonna make the developers have a headache. There is debate about the lack of content at the end game, which I can't say much as I have not reached there yet even after 1 week of playing. You can probably tell why. But I do agree there is not much to do besides farming chests, mining, doing dailies and emptying your resin. It's definitely enough for hours of playtime, but I can see how it will get boring to some people. This is not necessarily a bad point of the game, but I can say for sure that the community right now is very divided on the game. I've seen shitty takes and shitty defenses, as well as opinions everyone is aware of, but it's still being repeated. For the people complaining, instead of repeating, remove resin or there is lack of content to content creators or other players, provide your feedback to Mihoyo instead. If you want change, that's most likely to get results. As for the defenders, understand that the game has a very obvious flaw at the moment, and that 70% of the people complaining are people who love the game and want it to change for the better. Mihoyo definitely did not expect so many people to get interested in this game, but it happened and they were not ready for it. The game is so big that honestly, it can lose 50% of its player base due to waiting too long for changes and patches, and it'll still be a successful game. That's still 10 million players. They should know they have something great here. And for now, we can't do anything except to continue giving out feedback and solutions to Mihoyo, and hope they don't drop the ball. God, I hope not. So what changes do we want? Here are some of my suggestions if you are interested. For Primogems, they can simply improve the amount they give from commissions, and I mean a lot. They can keep the low rates, I think it's honestly not gonna kill the game. But they should probably give enough to get almost a 10 roll every week if you do all your commissions. I think that sounds fair. For the resin issue, I think just getting a simple resin cap increase as well as free fragile resin can easily solve the problem. Maybe about 2 fragile resin every day from commissions or dailies from the battle pass. A game that does this is Arknights, where they give you potions that last about 2 weeks and you can use them to refill your sanity to continue playing, or just stockpile them until the last day and mega grind all the way. As for free to play players, if you have not started or have not progressed far, I suggest re-rolling for a 5 star that you really want, as a 5 star will make the end game a lot more easier, obviously. I know it will be tiring and time consuming process, but it will definitely save your wallet if you ever decide to spend and your end game grind, but it honestly is up to you. So to sum it all up, here's a TLDR of my points. Of course there are many more things I can talk about, but these are just some of the more notable ones. The game is great, don't get me wrong, it is easily an 8 out of 10, and I'll still probably play it even if they do nothing. That is all for my video/review. I hope you guys found my views on the game interesting or useful. Again, these are all my opinions, so feel free to disagree. But if you enjoyed, leave a like and comment below on the video what your views are. Subscribe if you want more videos like this, as I just started my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.